Hi guys, how you doing? And welcome to another video. Now today I've got my friend Matt here. Matt who has just completed his apprenticeship in digital marketing.
Digital marketing, yeah.
And essentially I wanted to chat to him to see how he's found his apprenticeship, what he did before, because Matt went to university before, and how sort of the difference between the two and how he got into doing an apprenticeship. So Matt, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Yes, like James said, my name's Matthew Perry. I'm a digital marketeer. I currently work for a small accountancy company up here in London. And yeah, like I said, I've just finished my apprenticeship. Previously, I did go to university. So me and James are just going to have a chat about that and hopefully help some people out along the way.
So did you go to uni straight after school?
Yes.
So why did you choose to go to university in the first place, and what did you decide to study?
So when I was going through the decision-making process at school, I was just finishing my A-levels. I was enjoying education. There was nothing really wrong for it for me. And I was really loving sport. I did PE for GCSE and A-level. And I loved sport, I loved design, and I liked tinkering with equipment. So I was looking for the ideal course that sort of fit around that, and I came across sports technology at Loughborough Uni. One of my main struggles in that decision-making process was whether going straight to uni was a good idea. There wasn't really is there an alternative to university? Because for me, I was doing fairly well with education. There was no real reason for me to consider anything else.
So you were sort of saying you didn't really know about any other option other than university if you wanted to go into what you wanted to do. So you didn't really know about apprenticeships? Because I know when I was at school, apprenticeships weren't an option. We weren't told about them. It was just, you've got to go to uni if you want to earn money, succeed in life, etc.
No, at my school we were encouraged to go to university, but there were always other options.
Okay.
I actually had a friend that had just started doing the apprenticeship route. Mm-hmm. So I was aware of the other options. It just, for me, the key was going to university, getting that qualification, and also using university as a pathway into other roles, definitely abroad, because a couple of years prior to that I had actually lived in Dubai, so I was quite keen to explore a lot of different countries along my career path. So university would offer a lot more of that in comparison to other pathways.
So you decided to go to uni. How did you find it while you were there? What did you enjoy about it?
So I loved, for a time at least, I loved the course. There was a lot of, how do I put this, design involved, and mechanical engineering. I was quite keen on the whole mathematics scene, so I was very enthusiastic about all that.
Yeah.
What else did I enjoy? I enjoyed the professional exposure it gave me to companies outside of.
And while you were at uni, did you think, right, I can get a job after this? This is benefiting me for the future.
Yeah, that was always the intention. I mean, if I was still at uni, I wouldn't have finished until this summer. Because I would have gone away, done a placement, hopefully impressed the employer, get a job after that. You know, I had quite a good idea of how it was all gonna.
See, you say about that work placement. The thing I like about apprenticeships is you don't always need that work placement because you're getting the work experience while you're learning this stuff. So you enjoyed uni, you had a plan for after it. Why did you drop out?
So I left because I had a change of, I hate the word passion because everybody uses it so often, but I did. I had a change of desire in terms of what I wanted to do professionally. And that happened as my course took a heavier turn for the biological side.
Okay.
I'm still to this day not so keen on learning about the body and how it works. I'm more interested in the external stuff. So while that was happening, I was also developing a keen sense for the digital world, social media, how it could be turned into a business. I'd started the Christmas of 2014, that would have been, so the Christmas before I left uni. I actually started a YouTube channel, got into the gaming scene, started to play with montages, commentaries, and get a feel for different software.
And so were you doing that while you were at uni?
That was while I was at uni,
Okay.
yeah. So I was still studying, but I was doing this on the side in my free time, just to get to grips with 3D modelling software, Adobe, similar creative softwares, to see if I was any good.
So what did your passion change from and to, and how did that make you decide you wanted to leave?
So it went from, I want to join the Olympic cycling team to help them with their mechanical engineering, to I am really good I have a keen sense for design, and I like maths, I like code. Maybe I should be looking at marketing and at websites, that sort of front end, that
Well, there's such a need for online presences, social media, marketing online, because it's so massive now. The amount of people that are online and the amount of people that are on social media every single day, brands are really starting to take this stuff seriously now. So there is a need for people with the skills who know how to work around a computer, they know how to put across good brand messages, they know how to put good content out there that grows a brand, and companies are spending a lot of money on people to do so, and the best people to do so are young people. So for me, if a company wanted to start afresh with their digital presence, their social media, it seemed right for them to hire an apprentice, because it's a learning curve for me. At the same time, they're getting someone young and with some fresh ideas. So how did you find out about apprenticeships?
So after I left uni, I heavily invested in learning everything I could about digital, be it social media, be it designing websites. I also delved into other realms of marketing, sort of word of mouth. I read a great book, of which I can't remember the name, but hopefully James would be kind enough to put that in the comments. I can't recommend it enough. It's all about word of mouth marketing, but it has other focuses. And I have to say that book kind of steered me onto the digital marketing route. Excuse me. Sort of towards the end of summer, I was looking for, that was when my real job hunt started. And I have to say, I wasn't getting a high level of success. I was
Sorry,
looking
how long was it from when you left uni to when you started looking for something new?
I left it the summer. I kind of gave myself the summer, sort of align my focus. I was quite lucky in that I could have that time. I know that a lot of people don't have the finances, etc., to support that sort of couple of months, take the time off. But I was lucky enough to be able to do that, explore my options, and then start job hunting. So I started looking at entry-level roles. Like I say, I wasn't getting a huge level of feedback, success. So I then turned my attention to apprenticeships, started hunting around for that. Because I've been at uni, it was incredibly difficult, I was finding, to find apprenticeship companies that would take me on. I think they were concerned, because I'd been at uni, how would it affect having me on their program?
Because companies can't employ people with degrees, so that may have sort of put them off slightly.
Obviously, I never came out of university with a degree, so it was quite confusing and annoying at the same time. I carried on filing applications, one of which was to Tech City Stars. But I slowly realised that I need something for the here and now. So I got a part-time role, just to keep me ticking over in a supermarket, like a lot of people that age do. Which admittedly was great. It was a good bit of a workout, to be honest. So I was doing that, and I was fortunate enough to hear from Tech City.
How did you hear from them?
They got in touch. They responded to my application just through a phone call. They reached out to me, said they'd like to take me on. Went through the boot camp.
So yeah, you went through the boot camp, which gave you what sort of skills did you learn from the boot camp, and did that help you make a decision of, yeah, I definitely want to do an apprenticeship?
Yeah, for me the boot camp was more of a pathway rather than a decision maker. I knew that I had to do that in order to get onto the programme. So from the moment I stepped into boot camp, I'd already made the decision that I wanted onto the course. So I went through that, got onto the course, and was lucky enough to find a role.
So when you went through boot camp, what happened then? Did you have to apply for more roles? Did Tech City sort of give you roles? How did it work?
So I was free to look out for roles myself, sort of put feelers out. And Tech City were out there actively hunting for roles that would suit my skill level and my criteria. Like I say, I was put into a couple of interviews, one with a PC company on the gaming front.
Okay. What company was that?
That was Dino PC.
Okay, cool.
And I also went into an interview with the company that I'm at now, which is Rodcliffe Accounting. And I haven't looked back, it's been a great experience.
So you got the job, and how did you find the 12 months, the apprenticeship? What sort of stuff have you learned that you might not necessarily have learned at uni, do you reckon?
It's definitely matured me at a fast rate because I've been in the workforce. I've had to go out and learn myself. I've had to be quite self-sufficient in terms of the learning that I've done, and I've had to learn fast because there's nobody else in the company that I'm at that does what I do. So I'm on social media. I've recently put up a new website. Prior to February, this time last year, I didn't know how to do any of that. I had an idea. I knew that I could quite easily pick it up and play, so to speak.
So with my apprenticeship, when I went in there, I knew it was going to be different to what I'd done before on social media with the marketing type stuff, but I wasn't really guided and said, look, this is what we got to do to be successful here. There was no infrastructure there, so I sort of had to, as you say, be self-sufficient, learn yourself, try out different things. I am the youngest person at the company, so it's bringing in a fresh perspective, showing them the different things you can do online and how that can benefit you, and learning how to do stuff I wouldn't necessarily know how to do before. So I wouldn't necessarily know how to do email marketing. I wouldn't necessarily know how to stick to the same tone of voice. I don't really think about that when I'm doing my personal stuff. And also putting good content, video content out. When I got there, I knew I could make videos, but not to the level they were expecting. So I sort of had to stick my head down and go, right, okay, how can I make sure I do the stuff that will impress them instead of just doing the stuff that I usually would. So it's been a massive learning curve.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's what apprenticeships are really good for. It is all about, while you're doing the course and you're learning in your classes, you do have to go out and do a bit yourself. You can't always rely on the content to be specific to what you're doing in your role, because everybody's role is going to be a slight variation.
My apprenticeship I found very rewarding to me. I've learned so much. I feel if I had have gone to uni, I wouldn't have learned as much as I have done here in terms of not just the marketing side, because at uni you're taught a lot of the theory, you should do this, you should do that, but you're not putting much of it into practice. Whereas here, if you're learning stuff as you go, as you're putting it into practice, you're learning as you go about real life stuff, about stuff happening in the exact environment you are and how that's developing and changes. Whereas when you're at uni, you're just reading through a syllabus that might be slightly outdated. And yeah, I've learned a lot of stuff about my timekeeping, what you can and can't do in an office, and just having general experience in the industry where a graduate wouldn't have that experience. So I personally feel if there was me at this level going into apprenticeship, a graduate, we both do our courses 3 years down the line, who they're going to choose, someone with 3 years experience or someone and the knowledge because they've learned it as they've gone, or a graduate who has a lot of very good theory and clearly intelligent but doesn't have the experience there, and they may not be as self-aware and know what it's like to work in that environment.
Sure. No, I definitely think there are cases where university is the best option.
You wouldn't be able to be a doctor if you did an apprenticeship in... Yeah.
Exactly. And I wouldn't completely write it off if you want to go into marketing, because I think there is a lot to be gained from going to university. However, like you say, if you are self-sufficient and you want to learn and you want to be good at what you do and you enjoy it, then apprenticeships, I would be inclined to recommend an apprenticeship over university in that case.
And another reason is obviously the big one, it's the amount of money it costs to go to university. As an apprenticeship, you do get paid. It's not as much as you would get paid in a normal entry-level role, but that will go up after you've completed the apprenticeship, and rather than spending money on it, you get paid for it. And how did you pay your first 2 years then? How have you found living in your apprenticeship compared to in uni? And does the fact you've got the student loan to pay back ever sort of think, oh, was it worth it?
To this day, while part of me thinks I could have done well if I'd stayed on.
Yeah.
I don't regret the decision I made in terms of the debt that I'm carrying along with me, in terms of that 2 year chunk that I lost in terms of gaining relevant experience, because I did gain a lot of relevant skills from my course. Like I said, it was design focused. I gained a lot of analytical skills, presentation skills.
And do you not feel those sort of skills can be learned in an apprenticeship or in a workplace?
No, I definitely think they can be, and I'm not saying that university is the only place that you will gain those skills. Obviously, if you're working, you're having to be good at those things, because that's what at the end of the day, that's what you're in the company to do.
Right, so we're 20 minutes in now, probably a good time to sort of wrap it up with some sort of summary points. If you had the decision again, going to uni or doing an apprenticeship, what would you have done? Do you think it is the right choice for someone who wants, let's just rephrase it. Say you've got someone who is interested in digital, they don't know whether they want to do an apprenticeship or go to uni because they don't get paid much to do an apprenticeship and you don't get a degree out of it. What would you say to those people?
I think if you don't know and you're unsure, definitely place priority on considering the apprenticeship.
Yeah. Because
university is a long slog, especially if you don't know if you definitely want to do that particular role, fill that particular job. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend.
That's what I quite like about apprenticeships is they are quite open as well. Whereas when you go to uni, you've got these 3 or 4 years doing the exact same thing. You've only got the 1 year commitment in an apprenticeship, and you'll have many transferable skills from just being in a workplace. And you can use that to go in a career you may be a bit more interested in. So say if I've done my digital marketing, but I actually think, I want to go into sales. I want to be a salesman. I don't want to do marketing. I know they're similar, but you're only tied into the year. You can then go off and do something else instead. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, no, I do.
And so now you finish your apprenticeship. How's it benefited you? What are you doing now?
So the apprenticeship itself, like I say, it's got me into this digital marketing role. So I am on the on the sort of ladder. I've learned a lot of skills such as social media marketing, video marketing, graphic design. I've recently designed a website that went live last month for my company, and I can carry all those skills along with me. The biggest advantage of all that I'm taking from my apprenticeship is that I've not been funneled into one sort of, this is your role, this is what you do.
Yeah.
I've been taken on by a company that recognises that an apprentice is a good option to experiment, because a lot of apprentices are there to do exactly that. They want to get a feel for the role and possibly some branching areas. So I've definitely taken that way with me.
So how you find your new role? Do you feel you could have done that without the apprenticeship? So could you have gone from uni and then gone straight into that role, or was the apprenticeship necessary for that, for what you want to do?
I think had I not been at uni, the apprenticeship would have been necessary. Having been at uni, a lot of the transferable skills I gained, I probably could have carried them over into an entry-level role and be where I am today. The apprenticeship has definitely helped me get onto the correct pathway. It's helped me get into a company, and it's helped me improve my self-sufficiency. In terms of, go on.
At the end of the day, you do get qualification out of it at the end as well.
Exactly.
There's a little bit of paper just to say, look, I have done it.
Yeah, and that helps massively.
Yeah.
If you have a relevant qualification, it doesn't have to be university level. It's a huge boost to your career prospects. Right now, I'm still at Rodliff Accounting, still enjoying my work, and still eager to learn.
Brilliant.
Right, lovely stuff. I think we'll wrap up there. Thank you very much for watching. I'll leave Matt's links down below in the description. If you want to see anything more like this, you want to ask any questions, please fire away. We're more than happy to help. If you want to see anything else like this, let us know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next one. Thank you very much, mate.
Thank you, James. Cheers.